Welcome everybody. This is the Leadership Forum 2023 edition. So Navi Radjou, expert in growth strategies and frugal innovation, is joining us. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So let's just kick off with your performance on the stage. What are the major highlights?
The major highlight is that we are living in a time of climate crisis where resources are getting scarce. We are also facing major social crisis with the rising poverty and the purchasing power, which is getting reduced among middle class. So businesses have a need to do more with less, that is create more economic and social value while reducing the impact on the planet. And the strategy for doing that is what I call frugal innovation, which is a strategy that helps companies do better with less.
So I wanted to touch on the frugal innovation because it's very interesting in my opinion. Why do you think it actually works? Let's say having less personnel, less workers, rather than having more workers who could be probably more qualified.
So the idea of frugal innovation is not necessarily having fewer workers, but maximize their potential. So for instance, Deloitte, the consulting firm, has created a platform where they identify employees who may have 4 or 5 talents, and they're only using one talent right now. So this allows them to leverage the full spectrum of talents of the employees to create more value for their clients. And the employees, especially the young employees, are very happy because they feel like they can put to use all the talents for the benefit of both the company, the clients, and society. So it's less about doing less with the workforce and maximizing the potential of the workforce by reducing the waste of talent.
So you think that this is the major benefit?
The major benefit is threefold. One is to attract, retain employees, because employees want to work for brands and companies that are socially and environmentally sustainable. So if a company uses frugal innovation to create a positive impact on society, it will help attract conscious consumers and employees. It also helps create value in local communities. What we are seeing in Italy, for example, the provinces, or in France, the regions, they want businesses to create jobs and impact locally. So frugal innovation is a way to create supply chains and factories that are located within regions so they can create local impact. And then thirdly, of course, it helps protect the environment by reducing emissions and recycling waste. So it's actually a win-win-win strategy for attracting employees, contributing to society, and preserving the biosphere.
And can we also conclude that actually frugal economies increase productivity?
Absolutely, and you make a very good point. So frugal innovation or frugal economy is an economy that is focused on doing more and better with less. And what we mean by better with less is, for example, using AI, artificial intelligence, to increase productivity, while at the same time doing less. And the less applies, as I said, to wasting human talent, human potential, and reducing emissions and negative impact on the planet. So absolutely, a frugal economy is both very productive, has great performance, and the least impact, negative impact on the planet.
So do you think the public got your message? Did they receive it?
Actually, and the exciting thing is
and that's not your only stage, of course.
Yes. But the sweet thing about being in Italy is that what is not known, and I think the audience has to know, is that Italy is the #1 country in Europe for doing more with less. According to the studies done by ENEA, which is the National Agency for Innovation, Italy is ranked #1 in resource productivity. That means that you extract maximum value from resources. So I was very pleased this morning because I shared examples of Italian companies like Fiam, Bota, startups like DMAT, who have been applying frugal innovation to disrupt different sectors where they play. And it's also exciting to know that the government officials in Italy are encouraging actively companies to embrace frugal innovation to create more economic and social value while reducing negative impact on the environment.
In final take, what do you think is going to be the major challenges for leaders in the coming years?
I think the coming years, the major challenge is that in 2024, we are going to have what we call a poly crisis. That means that multiple crises coming at the same time. There will be a geopolitical risk increasing. There may be a social crisis, and then the ecological crisis. We know digital technologies will accelerate with AI, etc. So leaders will be faced with multiple crises at the same time. And this is where frugal innovation is very powerful, because instead of dealing with each crisis one at a time, you can create a strategy that helps you deal with all these problems at the same time. So that is what I tried to explain this morning, is that leaders can use frugal innovation to create what we call a systemic strategy, a holistic strategy that can deal with all these problems simultaneously, societal problems, ecological problems, community problems, etc., with one single strategy, rather than having to invest in different projects, to deal with different problems.
Right. Thank you so much, Navi Radjou, expert in growth strategies and frugal innovation. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.